So, CD Projekt Red just dropped a massive series of announcements across all of their social media channels related to their Witcher and Cyberpunk franchises. And I, for one, as a fan of all the things that they do, I'm super excited. Like, this has got my creative juices flowing. Now, obviously, this isn't anything that's going to be happening anytime soon. We already have an upcoming launch coming in 2023 for the next expansion in the Cyberpunk universe, and I don't foresee us getting any of these Witcher games in the near future. But the announcements alone have a lot of people speculating about what's coming down the pipeline, and it's getting us very excited. I'm one of those persons who's just like, yeah, I can't wait for more. We're going to dive into this today. Before we do, however, welcome back to those of you who are returning viewers. If you are new here, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you get updates for all the future content that I produce here on YouTube. Don't forget to support the channel like all of these amazing people. You can do a super thanks on videos like these. You can also join as a member of the Adventurers Guild down there, and more information at the end about other ways you can support. But for the meantime, let's just dive into these announcements a little bit. So it says, first and foremost, Orion is a code name for our next Cyberpunk game, which will take the Cyberpunk franchise further and continue harnessing the potential of this dark future universe. Now, I love this game. Cyberpunk 2077 is one of my favorite games of the last 10 years. I put it up there with Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War. It's a really good role-playing game. However, yes, the launch was frickin' horrific. I played it on a PS4 Slim, and it was a very, very bad experience. I still, however, gave the game a positive review because I thought that the game itself was very good. I thought the storyline was very good, and even with all of the bugs, it was a good game. It's now going through a revival right now. It's like the #1 best-selling game on Steam. They've had like 1 million players per day playing it. I actually reinstalled it on my PS4 Slim, drug the PS4 out of storage 2 days ago, and I've already played 3 sessions. And I gotta say, the performance changes they've made over the last 2 years, it's a flawless experience. I have no frame rate losses, no blue screen crashes. It plays like the game should have played at launch. I'm having a lot of fun, so I can't wait to see what else is coming down the pipeline for Cyberpunk 2077 above and beyond the expansion that we're getting next year. Now, the next thing on their list here is Polaris, which is the code name for the next installment in the Witcher series of games, which we recently announced was in pre-production. This is the beginning of a new saga. We aim to release 2 more Witcher games after Polaris, creating a new AAA RPG trilogy. Now, nothing is known about what they're doing with this brand new series yet. We don't know if it's following Geralt. We don't know if it's following other characters. We just don't know enough about it yet. We do know that it's going to be continuing in the expansion of the franchise and using the existing lore, maybe playing around with some other stuff. We don't know anything about this yet. All we know is that they have an upcoming game in development, and they plan on it being the start of a new AAA trilogy, which I'm really, really excited about. Now, they also have something called Canis Majoris, which is a full-fledged Witcher game separate from the new Witcher series, which is starting with Polaris. This is going to be developed by an external studio headed by experienced developers who have worked on past Witcher games. So this is something that's not going to be handled in-house. This is going to be something that's handled outside by another development team and another studio that's working underneath their supervision, and it says that it's separate. So here's what I'm really curious about with this game is what kind of a game is it going to be? Because it doesn't actually say here. The previous titles were open world RPGs, and the reason I say we don't know what it is yet is because the next game, it says it's going to differ from our past productions, which makes me wonder, is Canis Majoris going to be similar to what we've seen before, or is it going to be a new experience as well? All we know is that it's going to be a new game that's separate from the existing trilogy. But that brings me to Sirius. It says it's codename for a game developed by Molasses Flood, which is set in the Witcher universe and created with support from CDPR. It says here that it will differ from our past productions because it will offer multiplayer gameplay on top of a single-player experience, which includes a campaign with quests and a story. So I would imagine this might end up being a mobile title. They don't mention that, but it's either going to be, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Because all of their previous games have been like, PC and console, but they've never dove into the multiplayer pool yet. So if I had to guess, this might be. I mean, it could be a mobile game. It could be some type of like Star Wars: Old Republic experience. We don't know yet. We're getting this announcement and we're extrapolating. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop them down below if you know more about this than I do. Also, what other games have Molasses Flood done? I'm going to open this up real quick. Not to get sidetracked, but I am very curious. Of the Flood and Drake Hollow. So it's a CD Projekt Red studio. What have they done before? Okay. I don't know enough about their games. Okay, so these look like Molasses Flood. So these look kind of quirky. Okay, so these get okay. So they're going to be creating something that's a little more probably family friendly with this title. Something that's multiplayer and allows people to go have fun in the Witcher universe without actually being maybe a heavy Witcher based game. Okay, so that makes sense. Then it says here they have a third project, another project called Hadar. It says Hadar is a code name for a third entirely distinct IP created from scratch within CDPR. This project is in its earliest stages of the creative process, which means we are not developing a game yet. We're just working exclusively on the foundation for this new setting. So if you go back to the original, I think the announcement before, like the very first teaser announcement was like 9 years before Cyberpunk 2077 actually came out as a game. So it took them 9 years from like that initial teaser all the way to getting it through to being a launched game. So if we're looking at this project right here, Hadar, being something along a similar timeline, I would say that we can expect this to be something that's still probably a decade out. At the very least, because it sounds to me like they've got their hands full with 3 upcoming Witcher games, as well as another Witcher title by another studio and another Witcher title by another studio. So we've got, those 5 Witcher games plus the Cyberpunk 2077 second game, the follow-up game. That's 6 major AAA games in development. And even if they have multiple studios working on those things at the same time, I mean, we're looking at the next 10, 12 years of development easily planned out for CD Projekt Red with all of these announcements. I'm on board with all this stuff. I know some people are still a little, butthurt over the launch of Cyberpunk 2077, but as you can see, the game is going through a revival right now with massive numbers, topping the Steam charts for best-selling game, topping Steam charts for the most people playing the game. I mean, it really is going through a revival because it finally has been patched up to the point where it should have been at launch. And like I said at the very beginning, it is a very, very good game. It's just unfortunate that they launched it in the way that they did, and hopefully they learned from that mistake. It remains to be seen if they did or not. Obviously, we'll be happy to wait till we see all of these things coming out before we know for sure. But I, for one, am super excited. I can't wait to see what's coming in the pipeline. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the next Cyberpunk expansion that's coming next year. I can't wait. I'm going to be playing through on the Xbox Series X as soon as the next generation console version of Witcher 3 comes out with all the expansion packs. I'm going to buy it again. I already own it on the PS4, but I'm going to get it for the Xbox Series X and play through it all over again. Expect to see more of that here on the channel. Also, the Cyberpunk 2077 playthrough I'm doing right now on my PS4 Slim, now that it's been patched up and fixed over the last couple of years. I'm doing that right now, so hopefully we'll see you for all of those things as well. In the meantime, don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Let me know your thoughts below. Support like all the people I talked about at the beginning of the channel, and you can also go above and beyond by joining as a member of the Adventurers Guild for $2.99 a month here, or you can go over to our Patreon page and pick up a subscription there as well, and follow along with what my brother and my wife and I are building with our point-and-click adventure game, our tabletop setting, and our book series, because we do a little bit of that stuff as well. Until next time, everybody, stay safe. Hopefully we'll see you in a live stream. Join our Discord. Until next time, happy gaming.